Hello and welcome back to Cheltenham Festival. It's the last race of the day. It's the 5:30, the getting out stakes. And going to post here is all 7 runners. And this is the National Hunt Challenge Cup for amateur jockeys. £60,388 to the winning connections. And number 1 is Corbetts Cross. Number 2, the favourite, which is Embassy Gardens, Willie Mullins yet again. Number 3, Henry's Friend. Number 4, Kilbeg King. Number 5, Mr. Vango. Number 6, Salvador Ziggy. And number 7, Apple Away. So those 7 will be going down to post very shortly. And this will be a radio commentary race. And let's go into the spreadsheet. Our number 1 selection here, Salvador Ziggy. Let's go into Betfair, have a look at the prices. And 17 is our price at the moment. And again, look at this, we're down to this 101 all-round betting, which is very good. And just as I was talking, Salvador Ziggy has gone out to 17.5. So you need £5.71 on this one to return £100. Our second selection, Henry's Friend. The outsider here, and this is trading at 42, means we need £2.38 on this one to return 100. Kilbeg King is our third selection, and this is the other outsiders, all 3 outsiders we've got. This is 32 SP to stakes of £3.13 to return £100. Our fourth selection, Corbetts Cross. And Corbetts Cross is trading at 3.45. So we'll have a look at the first 3. We've staked £11.22, so this is fine. Corbetts Cross, 3.45 SP, 28.99 stakes, will return £100. And we've got £9.79 left. And Apple Away is going to be our next selection at 7.6. And this needs slightly more than we've got, and the maximum we can have on this one is £9.79. And that's our £50 staked. We'll get the calculator out for the final time. 7.6 the Betfair price times 9.79, £9.79 would give us £74.40 back, and 74 would be okay. It'd be a profit on the 50 staked, but we do have Salvador Ziggy, Henry's Friend, Kilbeg King and Corbetts Close running for us to return £100. So I'm going to go in my profit and loss sheet for the day at Cheltenham. And so far, up to date, I have managed to lose £42.54 on the day at Cheltenham. So hopefully, if I get the winner here, I will just go back in front by about £7. Sedgefield had been pretty much a disaster, losing £130.43 there today. Southall hasn't started very well either. The 5:15 has just had a winner at 185. So a big price winner there in the second race at Southall. We did manage to get the first at Newcastle winner, but not to the 100 that we wanted. So on the day we are losing £240.21, but we still have 11 races to go on the all-weather and the last race here at Cheltenham. There wasn't a bet in the last at Sedgefield there because most of the horses hadn't run before, and you need to back on under rules form only. So we're going to go to Cheltenham now for the radio commentary. We're just 1 minute away from the start there. And I'll leave you to this. And with whatever you're back in, good luck.
Ground is 13-8 market leaders. It's 2-1 then for Corbetts. Cross, who's like the favourite, also fitted with a hood for the first time. This one trained by Emmett Mullins for owner JP McManus. Derek O'Connor on board. It's then 5-1 for Apple Away and 11-1 for Salvador Ziggy. That's the selection of the Racing Post team for the Gordon Elliott's yards. 16-1 then for Mr. Vango in the first time cheap pieces. And it's 22-1 and upwards, bar those quoted. So runners are now beginning to assemble down at the start for the finale. The Maureen Mullins National Hunt Challenge Cup Amateur Jockeys Novices Chase, a Grade 2 over 3 miles and 6 furlongs. And they're about to make their way towards the starting point. Field of 7 runners in opposition. They all stand the ground. Embassy Gardens, a Grade 3 winner at Nace last time. Here's the betting at 13-8, betting to provide Trainer Willie Mullins with a 4th winner on the card this afternoon. And son Patrick takes them out on board this 8-year-old girl, son of St Ledger winner Shantou. Last year, nice in action, scoring by 10 lengths, beating 3 rivals in a Grade 3 novice chase event at Nace. That was 44 days ago. And has just eased out to 7-4 as support comes in for Corbetts Cross, who also has a hood on for the first time, like the favourite, trained by Emmett Mullins for owner JP McManus. Follow last time out at Fairyhouse when long odds on, but would have strong claims on previous efforts, including a very good run behind Grange Clear West in Grade 1 company at Leopardstown just before New Year. Let's see how they go as the runners walk forward. Just about all set, and that's it. They're off and racing for the Grade 2 Novices Chase. And through the early strides, Mr. Vango in the first time cheap pieces in the hands of Gina Andrews is the first to show as they all successfully clear fence number 1. So it's Mr. Vango who leads up and leads up by 2 lengths or so. Giving chase in second is Henry's Friend, who's racing just in advance of Kilbeg King in third. For the back in the field in 4th spot for Salvador Ziggy. Apple Away towards that one's out, and then held up at the back of the field, both Corbetts Cross and Embassy Gardens is switched off at the back of the field by Patrick Mullins. A good 8 to 10 lengths between first and last, and there's Gina Andrews on board Mr. Vango as they approach fence number 2. Another plain obstacle. Mr. Vango in the first time headgear, cheap pieces on for the first time. Leads up by 2 from Henry's Friend, who took it in second position. They've been tracked by Kilbeg King. And then towards the outer is Apple Away as they approach fence number 3. Leaders all took that one well. And then for the back in the field to Salvador Ziggy, who's racing just in advance of Corbetts Cross in the first time hood. And bring up the rear Embassy Gardens, bidding to provide trainer Willie Mullins with a 4th winner on the card this afternoon, also in the first time hood in the hands of son Patrick Mullins. So they're making their way on towards fence number 4. No change in the order. Mr. Vango leads up by 2 from Henry's Friend and Kilbeg King. Out wide Apple Away as they move on towards fence number 5. This will last in another 2 circuits time. And it's still Mr. Vango with the advantage. Showing up by 2 lengths as they make their way left-handed away from the stands and approach fence number 6. Just under 2 complete circuits of Prestbury Park in front of them for the Grade 2 Margaret Mullins Amateur Jockeys Novices Chase. They've taken fence 6, and it's still Mr. Vango with the advantage. Pressing on now, leading up by 3 from Henry's Friend giving chase. Marching strides for a share of third, both Kilbeg King and Apple Away. Then a break of 3 back to Salvador Ziggy, who's racing in company with Corbetts Cross, and bringing up the rear is Embassy Gardens, the favourite. Just dragged his hind legs through fence number 7, but no serious damage done. On towards the water jump. And Mr. Vango improving steer. Pops over the water from Apple Away. He's moved through into a clear second now. From Henry's Friend back in third. Break of 2 lengths back to Kilbeg King. He races in advance of Salvador Ziggy as they took the open ditch, fence number 9. Then comes Corbetts Cross and given a patient ride, Embassy Gardens switched off at the back of the field, about 10 lengths off the speed as they move on towards fence number 10. So it's Mr. Van Gogh who continues to lead them from Apple Away giving chase, break of 2 lengths further back in the field to Kilbeg King. And then in fourth position for the improving Salvador Ziggy as he took fence number 11 as they make their way towards the top of the hill, beginning the left-handed turn, about to make the descent on towards fence number 12. Mr. Van Gogh with the advantage still, lobbing along with a 2-length advantage over Apple Away giving chase. Another gap of 2 lengths back to Kilbeg King in third as they freewheel downhill. Moving on towards fence number 12 of the 23. They'll be jumping in the Margaret Mullins Amateur Jockeys Novices Chase. So on towards this plain fence. Mr. Van Gogh in front by 2 from Apple Away. And then comes Kilbeg King on the inside of Henry's Friend. And Corbetts Cross making a bit of progress towards the outer. Held up at the back of the field, both Salvador Ziggy and finally Embassy Gardens. Just beginning to bunch up now as they begin the left-hand turn towards the home straight with another circuit after this, and it's Mr. Van Gogh as they make their way into the final 2 miles of this Grade 2 event. Mr. Van Gogh pops over fence number 13, maintaining a 2-length advantage over Apple Away. Here's the fence which will be the last in the circuit's time. Good lead by Apple Away towards the outer, closing down Mr. Van Gogh. And with 1.5 miles to race, a circuit of Prestbury Park in front of them. The front two have opened up to the tune of 3 or 4 lengths now from sharing third Kilbeg King and also towards the outer of Kilbeg King is Henry's Friend. Then comes Corbetts Cross as they took fence number 15 as they continue their progress up the side of the course. Salvador Ziggy, last but one, and still observing in last position is Patrick Mullins on board Embassy Gardens. Here's fence number 16, another plain obstacle. They've all jumped pretty well on the main, and it's Mr. Van Gogh and Gina Andrews who continue to lead up as they make their way now towards the water jump for the second time. Mr. Van Gogh in a good rhythm out in front from Apple Away has always been prominent. Break of 2 or 3 now back to Kilbeg King, followed by Henry's Friend, and now making progress towards the outer is Corbetts Cross. And there's a Derek O'Connor, he took the open ditch. That was at fence number 18. So, still at the head of affairs, it's Mr. Van Gogh as they move on towards fence number 19. Apple Away is closed up to win a length. Another break of 2 back to Kilbeg King, followed by the improving Corbetts Cross, and now Embassy Gardens is on the move. And then behind those leaders, Salvador Ziggy. And it looks like Henry's Friend is about to be pulled up as they took fence number 20. So 3 more to jump as they make their way towards the top of the hill, swinging left-handed, they're about to make the descent on towards the third last in the Margaret Mullins Novices Chase. And Mr. Van Gogh about to be pressed by Apple Away as they freewheel downhill towards the 20th. And making their way towards this obstacle, it's Mr. Van Gogh with the advantage. Apple Away now bearing down, picking up towards the outer Corbetts Cross and tracking that one through Embassy Gardens as they took 3 from the finish. And it's here that Apple Away now takes over from Mr. Van Gogh, now comes under strong pressure on the outer Corbetts Cross and still making very good headway. Embassy Gardens to get into a challenging position now in fourth. Being driven behind those is Kilbeg King. They're about to begin the turn left-handed towards the home straight with 2 fences still to take in this Grade 2 novices chase. It's Apple away with a slight advantage, trying to battle back on the inside, Mr. Van Gogh, but moving stylishly into contention now, both Corbetts Cross and Embassy Gardens. Here's the second last, and it's all changed as Corbetts Cross, but enough fine leap on the Derek O'Connor to take over at the head of affairs, giving chase as Embassy Gardens. Mr. Van Gogh is out in his feet back in third as they meet the final fence, and it's Corbetts Cross over the last safely, and on the run up towards the winning line, drawing well clear Corbetts Cross in the first time heard in the hands of Derek O'Connor. Moving through into distant second is Embassy Gardens, but Corbetts Cross eased down to take the Grade 2 novices chase in good style. From in second position, Embassy Gardens, who was in turn clear from Mr. Van Gogh back in third.
Well, thank God
Corbetts Cross has won that in really good style.
But I've managed to get a winner there with the last of the card, Corbetts Cross. So, on today's card at Cheltenham, I did manage to win £7.46, but that was very, very difficult for me today. I do like putting outsiders in, too many short favourites, but at least I've shown a profit. Not a lot, but it's better than losing. So, that is the last race at Cheltenham for the first day on the Tuesday. I hope everybody did well there today and made loads of money, unlike myself. But what we're going to do in about, I would say in about 45 minutes, I'm going to upload tomorrow's card and we'll go through that in depth. So until then, have a good evening.